Hello everyone and welcome to Blockonomics. In this tutorial, we are going to understand how to use the Blockonomics payment button API. For this purpose, we have an online portal called Imagify where we display the art. We have namely two sections, the standard and the premium. To gain access to the premium section, you have to purchase the premium pass. And in order to do that, we have used the Blockonomics payment button API to facilitate our transactions. So if I click on Pay with Bitcoin, you can see a pop-up which asks for my email ID, and after I click on pay $5, there is a QR code and I have been told to transfer this much amount of bitcoins to this address in the given time frame, and over here it says the conversion. So let me quickly do this transfer and see what happens next. After transferring the correct amount of bitcoins on the given address, my page automatically reloads and now I can see the premium content, which means my transaction was successful. So in this tutorial, we are going to understand how did we build this demo and integrate the Blockonomics payment button API, and let us start by looking at the difference between the native Blockonomics payment API and this Blockonomics payment button API. To understand the difference between the native payments API and the payment button API, let us look at few important pointers. First of all, the Bitcoin address management. So if you're using a native payments API, then you have to code it out yourself that to generate a new address using the Blockonomics new address API and then perform the transaction. But if you're using the payment button API, then it is taken care by the Blockonomics itself. Secondly, the checkout interface. I would say that there is an advantage for native payment API users that you can design the checkout interface the way you like to see it. But if you're using the payment button API, then the checkout interface is provided by the Blockonomics and you do not have control over it. So we already saw the payment button API checkout interface, but let us have a look at it once again. So if you click on the pay button, then you will be shown a pop-up like this where you will be told to enter your details, which are the customer details such as your email ID and other parameters which you keep. So once you do that, then if you click on the pay button again, then you will be shown a checkout interface something like this. So if you do not want your checkout page to look something like this, then you have to use the native payment API and design your own custom checkout page. So for example, we created this checkout page for the payment API demo, and this video is already out on YouTube. You can go and have a look at it if you want to understand how the native payment API works. But to get an idea, you can design your own custom page for checkout if you're using the native payments API. So this is the advantage, I would say, for the native payment API users. But if you do not want to take care about how the checkout interface looks like, then you can go with the payment button API because the checkout interface is provided by the Blockonomics and you do not have to design your own checkout interface. Next is the automated email for order confirmations. So if you're using the native payment API, then you have to automate the email for order confirmations by yourself. But if you're using the payment button API, then Blockonomics send an email on your behalf. Next is the customer field input. So as we said that if you're using the native payments API, then if you want to have other additional information from your customers, then you have to place it yourself if you're using the native payments API. But if you're using the payment button API, then at the time of creation of the button, there is an option wherein you can feed the parameters that you want to take from your customers when they perform the transaction, and email ID is by default. So this is taken care by the Blockonomics itself, right? So these are the major advantages of both native payment API and payment button API. So now you got the clarity, and according to your business requirement, you can either proceed with the native payments API or the payment button API. In this demo, we are going to understand how to use the payment button API in the code and see it's working. But if you want to use the native payments API, then we already have a tutorial out for the native payments API. You can go and have a look at it. So now let us understand from the code point of view how to integrate the Blockonomics payment button API in your given website. Before we proceed to the code, let us understand a few important terms related to the payment buttons. So if you go to your merchant page and come under the options tab in the payment buttons URL, then you will find out this page, and over here you have to set up your redirection URL as well as the order hook URL for your buttons, and you can also select the time period. But important thing over here is the redirection URL and the order hook URL. So a redirection URL is the URL on which your buyer or customer will be redirected to once he completes the payment. The completion of payment is in no terms is related to the transaction being successful. Over here you can also read the caution that the Blockonomics has provided, because redirection URL should not redirect the buyer to the premium content or should not give access to the premium page, because redirection URL is simply the URL on which the Blockonomics will redirect the user upon completion of the payment. So order hook URL is the URL which Blockonomics will use to provide you the status update of the transaction. So once you get the status of the transaction using the order hook URL that you have placed over here, and then you will get to know whether the status was successful or is still in process or is having any other status code, and depending on that you should then judge whether the user should be given access to the premium pass or not. So do not give redirection URL the URL that should redirect to the premium page. You should always redirect somewhere which is not a premium page, and the order hook URL should be the URL where you will be receiving the updates from the Blockonomics about the order status. So these are the two important terms, and now let us move to the code to understand how to write the logic for the order hook URL, and then how to retrieve that logic in the front end to display the products, and that's all. Talking about the code, let us go step by step. First of all, let us look at the tech stack. So we are using PHP web language and the Laravel web framework. You can look at the versions that we are working on over here for the PHP and for the Laravel web framework for this project. And then talking about the file structure of this project is fairly simple and is identical to any other basic Laravel framework. So there is nothing about that. For the database, we are using a MySQL database, and for talking about the tables in the database, we have three tables. First of all, this is the very basic create password reset, and then we have a users table, and in the users table I have added an additional field of status. The status of any user is nothing but the status of the transaction made by that particular user. Now according to the Blockonomics documentation page, the transaction status code can range from -2 to 2, where default is 0 being not paid and 2 means the transaction was successful. So the users with a status of 2 are premium users, and premium content should be displayed when these users are logged in. So also we have a very basic table of products where we store the details about the products in our database. So there is an important field over here is paid. If the paid is 0, that means this product should be displayed to standard users, and if the paid is 1, then this product should be displayed only to the premium users. So this was all about the database. Now let us talk about the backend and the front-end implementations. So from the backend point of view, there are two important things that we need to take care of. The first of all is the order hook URL, the logic of the order hook URL, and then the logic of how we are displaying the products at the front end when the user is logged in. So let me open the controllers. So in the webhook controller, there is a handle function. Now this handle function is responsible for the order hook URL that I have placed at my end from at the Blockonomics page. So whenever a request hits this request comes over here, the Blockonomics gives us two important things: the address and the status, which means that the transaction which was carried using this Bitcoin address is having a status which is this. So over here we have to first of all find out that who was the user who is responsible for doing this transaction. So if you look at the documentation in the Blockonomics page, then you will get to know that there is this API which is provided by the Blockonomics, and if you pass on the address over here, then it will give you all the stuff which is related to this particular address, that is who was the user and all the customer fields that you have placed in as a check for your payment button API, and then all the response, all these things you will get in the response. So I am decoding this response into a data variable over here, and then over here I am extracting the mail ID, because in my database every user is having a unique email, so I can uniquely identify a user with this email. So I find out the user over here, and then I update the status code of that particular user, right? Because over here the Blockonomics is providing to me the updated status code, so I am using that status code over here and updating the status of that particular user, and then I am saving the user. So now I have updated my database successfully and it is in sync with the latest transactions, right? So this was the logic for the order hook URL over here. So let me open the home controller, and over here index function is responsible for the logic that we are rendering to the home page view over here. So over here we have to classify whether we should show standard products or premium products or a list of both. So we have to know who the user is. So we get the user and we then check if the user is a premium user, then we will query for the premium products as well. But if the user is not a premium user, then we have already queried about the standard products, and then we will simply return the standard products over here. So this was about the home page. And now let us talk about how we are rendering this logic in the front end. So in the front end we have, let me open the resources. In the views we have the front end. So this is the home page over here. So over here in the home page, first of all, the important thing is if any user is having a status code of 1, that means that the transaction done by this user is still under process. So we will be giving a notification to that particular user that your latest transaction is in process, so that the user does not create a panic and is therefore remains calm. So we are providing this update of the status code of update about the transaction if the status code is 1. And nextly we will simply check if there is if the user is, so basically there is always a standard bar, so this line will always be there, that is query and display the standard products. But important thing is about the premium section. As we saw in the demo, if the user is not a premium user, then we have to display the payment button API, and then if the user is a premium user, then we will simply display all the premium products. So over here this is the logic, and logic is fairly simple, because if the user is having a status code of 2, that means it is a premium user, else we have to show the payment button API. So we simply add this line which is provided by the Blockonomics, and then everything is good to go. So this was all about the demo, and I hope you guys liked it. So the important links to the demo are given in the description below, and if you are having any queries, then put them in the description below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, do not forget to visit our Twitter and Facebook pages. They are linked in the description below. And good to see you, and keep using Blockonomics. Bye bye.